All right, let me guess. It's getting close to time to refinancing your commercial real estate investment, and you are just getting inundated with all these offers on cheaper interest rates and all that. Well, and you're thinking about just jumping on it. You're like, all right, this is a great idea. Well, I tell you, slow down, bucko, because that may not be such a good idea. Hang tight, and I'll tell you why. All right, so I'll tell you why it may not be such a great idea to just simply jump on the first investment you see that you think is going to save you some money. Because there are many factors to consider when refinancing, and interest is just one. There are many factors in it. So in this video, we're going to talk about those factors and the way to know exactly when to refinance and what you should refinance at. Okay, so we're going to bring up some topics in here called time value of money. If you've not heard of that before, time value of money is is a financial principle that's interested in the magnitude of cash flows, timing of cash flows, and risk of cash flows. In summation, it's all about cash flows. All right. More specifically, we're going to talk about internal rate of returns, which is a time value of money function that sums up all of the cash flows in a project and hands you back a rate. And we're going to look at that rate over time, and it's going to tell us when the best time is to refinance. We're also going to look at, what that cost of that capital is going to be, and see when you're making money and when's the bank making money. All right. Now, this video is a much shorter video of a much longer video that's down below. It's in the. I actually put a link in the description below for you. And so I suggest you watch that if you get time. And I think it's a really good video for you. Also, I broke that video up into much smaller snippets, and so I've got those sections down there for you as well. Now, if you like the video, please give us a thumbs up. And please subscribe to the channel. We'd love to have you. Hit that bell notification too, so as new videos come out, you get those. All right, so enjoy. This next graph shows you the timing in which you should refinance. Remember, this particular pro forma is very well balanced. And one of the things you're going to notice is that this line is flat, except for this point right here. This is where you originated the loan. And so you have a growth in the loan up until the first 24 months. After that, it's predominantly flat, which means that you can refinance this loan at any time that's convenient to you prior to the balloon. All right. So you can choose the time in and get the best possible deal. This is what happens when you use time value of money to create a pro forma. All right. Let's take a look at another one here. What I did here is I created also another hypothetical case, one that we commonly see on the market, in which we use simply as a $6 million loan on an office complex with a 5.15% cap rate. This is what happens when you rely on cap rates to help you determine how your pro forma is going to work. It's not going to be as even, as flat as you think. All right, so here's one of the things we're going to take a look at here. This loan is a 5.75% loan on refinance. Okay, it's a 4% loan going in and a 5.75% loan on refinance. And take a look here. In between the year 2024 and 2025, the interest jumps incredibly. This is all purely interest, by the way. If you take a look here, you've got a $66,000 jump and greater in your interest being paid in 1 year. All right. We're going to compare that side by side with one that's a 5% refinance. All right. And here again at 2024, we see that the loan jumped from 20,003 to $240,000 a year. So there's almost a $37,000, or yeah, it's just short of a $37,000 jump in the interest rate. Much bigger difference than what you see here. This is what we refer to as that incremental cost of capital too. This is in the dollar amount. All right. Now let's take a look at the profile of the refinance of that loan. So here's what we have over here. We have a 6% loan, or a $6 million loan. We have a debt coverage ratio of 1.2 on the scale, and we have a 4% loan on the property. It's amortized for 30 years. There's a balloon at 60 months. Now, on this particular case, we have a prepayment penalty of 6 months on the declining balance. This is what you would normally find for a yield maintenance on a commercial loan. You may also have a 1-point amortization over the life of the loan itself. And so if you take a look, this goes for 120 months, and you have your internal rate of return. And I really wouldn't pay attention to that so much as I would the shape of the curve, okay? What this chart is telling you is that somewhere in between 36 months and 48 months is the optimum time for you to refinance this note. If it balloons at the 60th month, it's to the benefit of the bank. Look how that dropped. This benefits the bank, not you. All right. So you definitely would want to get this financed in here if you can. The next step would be at the 108 month, where it's at this 4.4. There's another dip right here. That's the optimum time again for you to finance because the loan's going to jump. All right. So here we go. Let's take a look at the profile next at 5%. Notice it's a little flatter, okay? It looks very different, but it's still about the same range here where you've got this slope up. Somewhere right in here is where you should try to refinance if you can. You definitely should refinance by the time it gets this 4.7. All right. Same scenario of the loan where you have a 1.2 debt coverage ratio and a 4% loan on the original loan. Same prepayment pattern as well. And the same thing on the balloon note. All the same things that are occurring on this 5 point as it was on the 5.75. So as you can see that. But let me go back here again. And this is one that's created on a cap rate and not using time value of money. So let's take a look at, again, back at the one that was. Notice how flat it is. Now it makes a lot of sense. All right. Okay, our key takeaways we should get out of this video. If you saw right off the bat, I talked about creating a well-balanced pro forma. And I didn't use cap rates for you. In fact, I showed you what would happen if you did use cap rates. It's disastrous, okay? So, but what we did do is show how a well-prepared pro forma, well-balanced, use an internal rate of returns or a time value of money principle would help you save money and tell you exactly when you should be refinancing and at what rates. All right. So, and of course, one of the things we saw in that graph, it's really important to look at those inflection points. Those inflection points really helped you out a lot. Okay. So this, again, like I said, this was a longer video, or actually it's a shorter video, I should say, of a longer video, of which the link is in the description below. Please get a chance to check that out. Also, look at those other videos down there. They're much smaller little snippets as well. On the end of this video, on the end card, I'm going to actually put you some suggested videos up that I think will be helpful also in this case. All right, take care.